Hi everyone, it's Alex Sparks here from Sparks Finance and I'm your local mortgage broker in Bathurst. Today we're going to go through the May monthly review. Now on Tuesday, the RBA decided to increase interest rates again by 0.25%, taking the total cash rate to 3.85%. Now this was a very interesting move by the RBA. People probably didn't expect us to see another increase right at this time, but it just goes to highlight that, what we're sort of reading and all this kind of stuff, we just don't know. The RBA clearly have their own path that they would like to take in regards to trying to decrease inflation, but we're really at the mercy of them at this point. Looking across the board, most people would have thought that they would have held the cash rate, but the increase certainly will put that little bit of added pressure on households. Now, what does this essentially mean? Now, when we were looking at these, 3 months ago, now are we getting close to our peak is the question that we need to ask ourselves. A majority of the economists, half at the moment, are saying we are very, very close. Now, looking at the top 6 economists and the big banks within Australia, 3 of them think that the peak is 3.85% cash rate, which we are now. The other 3 think it's at 4.1, which is one more increase. What that essentially shows us is that we are moving towards that peak. With the current data that we have, we are moving towards that peak. Now, when the peak will happen, we just don't know, right? But it's really important for us to make sure that we're just budgeting enough to potentially take those 1 or 2 increases again if they happen. It's really important that you look at your household budget to understand where that surplus is, and hopefully we can ride this storm out and hopefully have a little bit greener pastures on the other side. Within the mortgage industry, banks are starting to move their fixed rates down slightly. Okay, a lot across the board. We're seeing those decreases of fixed rates, coming down to the mid 5s to mid to low 5s. What that essentially indicates is the banks also think that we're reaching our peak, because they think that, within those fixed rate periods, we're not going to be as high as what they originally anticipated. So seeing those fixed rates come down is basically a small sign that the banks also think we're at their peak. As we said, guys, it's really important you just look at your budgets to make sure that you can ride out any. If you have any questions or worries about the interest rates, let us know, and we can more than happy to run through your different options and see how we can make that a little bit easier for you. But in other news and really good news, on Monday, the guarantee scheme, it was announced that they will be expanding the eligibility for the guarantee scheme come July the 1st. Now, what that essentially means, this has the regional first home buyer guarantee, the first home buyer guarantee, and also the single parent, family guarantee, which covers single parents and other things of that nature. Now, what they're essentially saying is this is going to expand and allow more people to use it, which I think is a fantastic thing. So things that they've highlighted here is, permanent residents will now be included. The broadening eligibility for joint applicants, and also too, people under certain circumstances, people who have previously owned a home are eligible for that as well. So really exciting news there, so we can get more people into homes and be able to secure property in a market that, for Bathurst in particular, has some really good opportunity at a good price point to be able to get into the market. So we'll do a video on that a little bit later on once we get a little bit more information around the expanding of the guarantee. It's really great to see that they're opening those up so more people can become homeowners. The last thing I wanted to run through is obviously fixed rate again. We're already having a lot of discussions with people around their fixed rates, and a lot of people, more than 60% of all homeowners in Australia, are going to come off a fixed rate within this year. So, if your fixed rate is coming up, over the next sort of couple of months or even at the end of the year, let us know. It's really important to understand what your revert rate is. Really interesting. I had a client yesterday, and I sort of said, what's your revert rate? And they said, it's 5.4, which was the bank's best rate that they had for new customers. It's really interesting to note that the revert rate, you will not automatically get the lowest rate the bank has. They'll more than likely put you on a higher rate, which is a standard variable rate minus discounts, and then it's up to you to negotiate to try to get a better rate. It's very rare that you would see someone come off a fixed rate and go to their best rate within the market. So that's why it's so important to make sure that you know exactly what you're going to, and you can look to renegotiate or refinance, and that's what we're here to do to help you with that. So if you are coming up to your fixed rate expiry, or even if it's 3 or 4 months away, let us know and we can create a plan for you now to make sure that when you come come out of that, you're in the best position possible and have one of the best rates in the market. But that's it for our May wrap. Look, as I said, some interesting news out of the RBA, but also some exciting news to hit the market as well. Bathurst is still going great. We've still got some great property available. But if you have any questions or would like to get into the market or review your loan, please don't hesitate to give us a call and we can run through your different options. Thank you very much.